Starting off from A to Z, starting off with Alarum, starring Scott Eastwood and Sylvester Stallone. Um, yeah, this movie basically Scott Eastwood was working for the government and he meets this girl. They end up falling in love and they leave their for 5 years. They go off the grid with one another and they work for a secret organization called Alarum. And Stallone is supposed to. They finally get back with Stallone, and they finally get back with Eastwood. They figure out where he is, and they send Stallone to go get him. Um, and so you have these two pretty big actors. I mean, Stallone and Scott Eastwood. Scott Eastwood's, he's his career. He's had some good stuff that he's put out, but mainly in his career, he's really been hindered by, I guess, really just the roles that he's picking or his agent picks or whatever. But it hasn't been good career wise for him, and so I just think it sucks that a guy he has some talent. His dad is Clint Eastwood and everything. You would think he has the talent to be able to pull it off. Um, and it sucks that he's been kind of stuck giving these shitty straight to DVD action movies, kind of like how Bruce Willis was doing in the latter half of his career, or in the later half of his career, because just trying to make these cheesy, low budget movies that somebody wanted to make a quick buck, so people find them in the $5 movie bin at Walmart. So it sucks that he was kind of got sent on that side of making movies and stuff like that, which I'm sure he probably didn't like to have to do, like Nicolas Cage or whatever. But the movie, as in the movie by itself, it's an okay action movie, very very low budget. I don't remember what the exact budget is. I guess I can look it up here. Let's see what it says here. Said the budget was $20 million. $20 million. And this didn't have really big studio backing, but that's what it says. It's $20 million. It only made, I don't know if it made, what do you call it? I don't know if that means theaters. I don't know. Some of these movies might have a theater release, but it only says, according to this, it says gross worldwide, detailed box office. Yeah, it said only grossed $110,000. So if it wasn't theaters, no, not very many people went to go see it. But like, it's just, the movie's kind of cheesy. It's not really well directed. Like, the plot is kind of weird, and the ending of the movie is like basically like Rush. Like, you have Stallone and the character, the Scott Eastwood character. They kind of they try to help each other, but then they kind of go at each other, and they don't trust one another, and so that becomes a big problem for that becomes a big problem. And so it's kind of like there's something that happens to Scott Eastwood that happens at the end of the movie that is basically, you're just like kind of waiting for something to happen to him, and it's like, oh, you got to take this little thing and then it's resolved, or your way, and then it happens to and then something happens to Stallone. And basically, I think what they tried to do is they made this movie and it kind of goes off on a cliffhanger, so they're trying to fish for a sequel, which, from the way that this movie did, I don't think it'll get a sequel. But it's not awful, it's not terrible, it's just not that great. So would I recommend it? I mean, if you're looking for something that's like something just to throw on the TV while you're folding laundry or something like that, yeah, I guess I would recommend it. But as far as like, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch a fun action movie, it's not that. Also, the film looks very dull because it's has like this. The movie takes place uh mainly in Europe, in Poland during the wintertime, and so it's very cold, warm, color blue tone, and it's very very dull. And then when you go to scenes where you're supposed to be back in America, they're just filming in a warehouse. Even Even one of the characters brought up, like, "This is all we can afford," like kind of poking at the fun at the budget. It's like, you had $20 million budget, you know, which I guess apparently 20 million. Half of that, I guess, 10 million of that went to Stallone, and the other 10 million went to make the movie. I'm guessing. Um, but anyway, would I recommend the movie? Not really. So, yeah, that's what I think of Alarum.